Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Billboard Comics recurring feature Guiding Lines. This is a special part of this channel where I go through the weekly new releases. This episode is going to cover the new releases coming out the week of Wednesday, November 26th, 2025. For you who have been here before and come back, thank you very much. Welcome back. Make yourself at home. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. You'll be able to be notified whenever when these videos pop up again. You get the notification bell to get even extra special notification. And like this video. If you at any point this thing you can valuable out of it, please like it. And comment if you want to comment on this. And this goes for everybody too, if you want that. But if you're new here, basically what this is, I basically break this down into 4 categories. First is the big book of the week, the one comic book that's coming out in this new release batch that I think deserves the most attention. Then I cover the new releases, which is anything from one-shots to ongoing series to miniseries or whatever. Then I go over the series that are coming to an end, with their final issues coming out this week. Sometimes, but not always, and this is one of those weeks where we don't have one, I have issues of note, comic books that don't fit into either of those categories that I think you might need to know about. And finally, I wrap up with facsimiles, running down of all the facsimiles from all the different companies that are out there. So, without further ado, let's start this off, as we always do, with the big book of the week. This week, the big book of the week, I have chosen the Infernal Hulk #1. This is another series starring Hulk, another horror-based interpretation of the character and new direction for the character. Although the character has always been, when you think about it, if you boil it down to its essence, a horror comic book character. Basically, even from the first day with the Jack Kirby and Stan Lee issues back in the 60s, it was essentially Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for the nuclear age, with just a touch, or how's the guy go? Of Frankenstein added in. He was a mix of a misunderstood monster and a man who changes into a monster against his will, hence the analogy I used there. And for a long part of his life, it's basically he's been, the horror aspects wasn't really kind of like played up. He's been treated as a monster, no word about it. But it's mostly him being on the run, want to be left alone, and various and sundry villains and organizations trying to track him down and bring him into control, because he's too dangerous to be around there. As of late, they have really dialed back into the actual horror aspects of the character. Most specifically with the Immortal Hulk series, I believe it ran for 50 issues a couple of years ago. I believe it was written by Al Ewing, if I'm not mistaken. That was a very, very good take on the Hulk mythos and the horror aspects of it. It had a lot to do with body horror and psychological horror and spiritual horror, but it also managed to mix and meld all the history of the character all into it. So it was a grand kind of set piece of a story that involves a new direction into the horror, more horror focused, but still paid attention and respect to what went behind it. Then Philip Kennedy Johnson took over with new series. Still kept the horror stuff, but it's more of a travelogue where he travels through America, looking at various and folklorish horror aspects across the country. At least that's how it was from the first couple issues I read. I didn't really take to the series. It wasn't really one of my favorites, so I kind of really didn't follow it after the first couple issues. It could have went a different direction after that. If you did, go in the comments and let me know where I was wrong. But however, that series came to an end, and it's starting up with a brand new #1, which is the Infernal Hulk. This time around, Bruce Banner has been kicked out of the Hulk body and been replaced by a demon. And the demon is taking over the body with the idea of having his cohorts to actually take over other super-powered individuals and make the Earth a kingdom of their own. Fairly interesting concept, but it doesn't really sing to me. But if you're like me, you're hoping like the new series would have a different change of creator team on it, you'd be sadly mistaken. This is another one of Marvel's trademark, hey, we're going to cancel this series, start with new number one, and keep the same creative team behind it as we had before. They do this all the time. It's a cheap and tawdry way to get new, like a bump in circulation for a brief period of time. But once they realize they're getting the same thing they didn't want before, it eventually dipped down. If you're a fan of Philip Kennedy Johnson's work on this, you probably have no problem getting this. You're ready and willing to actually pick this up and try to actually run with this and read this and hug it and call it George. Me personally, I'm, the same boss. The new boss is the same as the same old boss, exactly. I'm not really interested in picking this up. Sorry. It just the last series didn't work for me, but maybe this one will be different, and maybe a couple months down the line, when reviews are coming and saying this is the best Hulk series ever, I will be regretting this decision. I hope not, but you never know. All right, so it'll be $4.99 for 32 pages. It's going to be an ongoing, which means it could go for 50 issues, it could go for 10 issues, but I doubt it's going to go for 300 issues. It's $4.99 for 32 pages, I said, yes. Written again, like I said, by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Art and cover by Nick Klein. Colors by Matt Wilson. There'll be 4 open order variants to support this issue. A Dan Panosian foil. A Henrik Lee Street Verse variant. A Nick Klein promo variant. And one from Steven Segovia. There will also be 3 incentives. A 1 in 25 by Ron Ferreira. A 1 in 50 of the Henrik Lee Street Verse cover, but a virgin this time around. And a 1 in 100 of the Nick Klein cover, but a virgin this time around. There'll be 2 retail exclusives, both from Big Time Collectibles. SGCC 2025 John Jang variants. It's going to be an Infernal cover. There's going to be a regular version and a virgin version. Virgin, in case you don't know, doesn't have any trade dress on it. It's just the cover artwork by itself. So, all right. With that being done, let's move on to the new series starting this week. We're going to start with DC. DC has 2 new series. Well, one's a one-shot, but you know what I mean. First off, Batman, Green Arrow, The Question, Arcadia #1. $5.99 for 32 pages, a 4-issue series. Written art and cover by Gabriel Hardman, colors by Romulo Fajardo Jr., and letters by Simon Boland. There'll be 3 other covers. A cover B by Kevin Nolan. Kevin Nolan, great artist, very underrated. Cover C and cover D will both be by Bill Sienkiewicz. One will be a regular variant, and the other one will be a foil virgin variant of that cover. This is a pairing of like 3 of the most famous street level characters that DC has. I like when they do this big, massive team up between more than one character, or more than 2 characters, for that matter. It's pretty fun. I kind of missed putting this on my pull list, but I'll see if they have any lying around the shop. Maybe when I go in there and maybe pick it up. They also going to have, and this is going to be a trend for this week. Get ready for those who hate Christmas starting before Thanksgiving even hits. This week is going to be a whole bunch of books starting before Thanksgiving hits. Although technically, when this happens, it'll probably be a day before Thanksgiving hits. But still, nonetheless, it's it's rushing the season, as my mother used to say. DC, I Saw Ma Hunkel Kissing Santa Claus, #1. In case you're wondering who Ma Hunkel is, Ma Hunkel was the the secret identity of the Golden Age Red Tornado. She basically was a mother with kids who fought crime with a soup pan over her head, and she's a very Zoftig kind of character. She has made several returns since then. She most recently, I think, and I could be wrong on this, was kind of like the caretaker maid at the JSA headquarters. I know at least a couple. That might be a couple incarnations of the JSA before, in the past, but that's the most modern representation I have of her. In case you're wondering who the heck Ma Hunkel is, it's going to be $9.99 for 80 pages, and it's going to be a one-shot. It's going to be an anthology, so there's going to be a whole bunch of writers, a whole bunch of artists in it. Let's start with the writers. It's going to be written by Steve Orlando, Dave Baker, Ashley Allen, Ash Padilla, Nathan Kenyon, Marley Harpen Glaser, Sebastian Bader, and Jadiza Axelrod. The art will be by Riley Rossmo, Anthony Margolis, Michael Schulfer, Nicole G-O-U-X, Bruno Asdias, and Hannah Templar. The cover will be by Chrissy Zulo Uminga. We want another cover to go along with this, a cover B by Ryan Sook. Next, we're going to move on to Marvel. Marvel has another #1 coming out. This one, a team up between two of their most popular street characters as well. It must be a day for street characters with titles with slashes in them. It's Daredevil, Punisher, The Devil's Target, #1. Written by Jimmy Palmiotti. Art by Philip Tan, Chris Giarduso, and Tommaso Bianchi. The cover will be by Kendrick Lim. There'll be 4 open order covers for this. One by Dan Panosian, another In Hercules Streetverse variant, a variant cover by Joshua Carrera, and a cover by Luciano Vecchio from the Chaos Costume variant. There'll also be 3 incentives: 125 by David Marquez, 150 by In Hercules Streetwise, but it's going to be a Virgin variant of that cover, and 100 of Kendrick Kunka Lim Virgin. I believe that's a version of his main cover. I don't know why the League of Comic Geeks decided to actually give him the nickname here and at the beginning. Next up, Anarch Press has Teether, Parental Guidance #1. $49 for 24 pages. Looks like it's going to be a 4-issue limited series. Writing and art by David Hutchinson. And then we have one other cover B by David Hutchinson, Dressed to Kill variant. This is a horror series from Anarch. Don't know really much more about that. Next up, boom! Keanu Reeves is back, and he's bringing Berserker with him. And this time, he's writing it with Marjorie Liu, a really great writer. Berserker, The Bleeding Tide, #1. $9.99 for 56 pages, and I believe it's a one-shot. Usually, the new Berserker books are one-shots only that come out, and these have numerous various covers. This one is no exception. This has more variant covers than all of the Dynamite books put together, which are coming up later on, and that's too much, guys. Too much. I know Keanu Reeves, you want to sell so many copies of this. His fans are fanatically devoted to buy every single cover you come out, but for me, who has to read all these, have some mercy on me. Alright, like I said, it's going to be written by Marjorie Liu with Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves, of course, if you don't know, is from The Matrix and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and American Treasure, even though he's Canadian. We're claiming him. That the legal papers are already in. For adopting him, you can't stop it. Art and cover will be by Gary Brown. There'll be 6 open order covers. Cover B by Rebecca Puebla. Cover C by Michael Dalianis, a Boom 20th Anniversary variant. It's the Boom Comics company's 20th anniversary this year, and they have a whole bunch of variant covers for every one of their issues celebrating this fact. Cover D will be a foil version of the Gary Brown main cover. Cover E will be a foil version of the Rebecca Puebla foil, a variant. Cover K will be a variant by James Stokoe. Cover L will be a Gary Brown Virgin variant. There will also be 5 incentives. Cover F, a 1 in 10 Rebecca Puebla Virgin cover. Cover G, a 1 in 20, a Michael Dalianis Boom 20th Anniversary Virgin variant. Cover H will be a 125 James Stokoe Virgin variant. Cover I will be a 130 Giuseppe Camacoli Virgin cover. And cover J will be a 150 Carrie Randolph Foil Virgin. There will also be 3 retailer incentives, all by PCB Hobby, all done by Shahad Shah. there'll be a regular variant, a black and white variant, and a foil variant. The black and white and foil variants will be virgins, so they'll have no trade dress. Next up, Dark Horse has a new one coming out, The Devil on My Shoulder #1. $4.99 for 32 pages. It's going to be a 4-issue limited series. Be written by Kyle Starks. Art and cover by Pietro Kowalski. Colors by Brad Simpson. And letters by Josh Reed. There'll be 2 other covers to go along with this. Cover B by Martin Sibbond. Cover C by Christian Ward. This story will be putting out a new book this week, and I was corrected on how to pronounce that by my local comic shop owner. Thank you, Mark. I have like a mental block about that because there's absolutely no vowels in it, and vowels. There's probably no vowels in it either, so it kind of throws me off a little bit. But it's distillery. Now I know, and knowing's half the battle. Yo, Bill. They're coming out with Galactic #1, $8.99 for 48 pages, written by Kurt Pyers. Art and cover by Amilcar Pena. Colors will be by Lee Loughridge, and letters will be by Mika Myers. This is being described as if what would happen if George Lucas and Quentin Tarantino made the boomty, so to speak, because I don't know if you can actually say the S word or the F. Definitely can't say the F word. I can't say the Q word or the D word either, or the. You probably get away with the N word, but only if you do the VN variant of it. Make the boomty, and this is the child they would come up with, basically. So it's a kind of a case about a bounty hunter who has to track down a princess who's going on like kind of a version of Rumspringa in the outer space, and in the process of trying to rein her in, romance happens, chaos happens, and violence happens. I like George Lucas. I love Quentin Tarantino, so this will be on my list to pick up and on my pull list. It will have 5 open order covers to go along with it. It's going to be $8.99 for 48 pages. I don't know how many issues it's going to run, but it's usually about 3 to 5 issues per series, so it's probably not going to be that long. But they want to get the most money out of it as possible because there's going to be 5 open order variants. Cover B by Tula Lotte. Cover E by Sarah Pichelli. Cover F will be Amilcar Pena homage cover. Cover G will be blank. And cover X will be a Tula Lotte spicy variant. I don't know what differences you can see up there on the screen. They don't look much different to the blind eye, but maybe that's because they don't want to, cause some kind of strike, whatever. There'll also be 3 incentives. Cover C, a 1 in 10 by James Stocco, busy guy. Cover D, a 1 in 25 by Dalton Rose. And cover H, 1 per store, Amilcar Pena homage virgin. Next up, we have Dynamite. And I think I might have been a little wrong with about the whole number of variants. They have quite a number of variants for this one. But it's Christmas-themed one, and by their licensed character that fits most with the Christmas season, Vampirella. Vampirella, Holiday 2025 Special #1. $4.99 for 32 pages, and I believe it's going to be a one-shot. Written by Frank Thierry, art by Mariano Benitez Chapo, and the cover will be by Joseph Michael Linzer. There'll be 2 open order variants, a cover B by Selena, and a cover C will be a cosplay variant. There will also be 6 incentives. Cover D will be a 1 in 10, Joseph Michael Linzer black and white. Cover E will be a 1 in 10, cosplay but a virgin variant, so I guess the picture of the person dressed up as Vampirella on the cover. Cover F will be a 1 in 15, Joseph Michael Linzer black and white virgin. Cover G will be a 1 in 15, Selena virgin. Cover H will be a 1 in 20, Joseph Michael Linzer virgin. And cover I should say, will be a 1 in 7, Joseph Michael Linzer red line variant. It's basically his artwork for the other covers, but done in red, look like a red pencil kind of drawing. Image has a new issue coming out. I Saw Santa, a Spawn Universe Christmas story, #1. Because You know, if there's one character that says more about Christmas than Vampirella, it's Spawn. $5.99 for 48 pages. So it's going to be a one-shot. Be written by Chris Killian and Andrew Sandoz. Art by Thomas Natchuk. And the cover will be by Marco Filia. There'll be 3 other covers. A cover B, which would be blank. A cover C, which would be Tudor Rustov. And cover D, a Greg Capullo wraparound cover. Keenspot is not one to let the whole Christmas shenanigans stop by without joining in. Zoe Saves Christmas #1. $5.99 for 32 pages. $5.99 for 32 pages is excessive. Written by Rob Pachak. Art and cover by Michael Davis. There will be 3 other covers. A cover B by Jay Hammond. Cover C by Troy Dongara and Rob Pachak. And cover D will be by Rob Pachak by himself. Tidal Wave has another installment in their cheapo biography comic books. Fame, Mr. T #1. Yes, Mr. T, a celebrity who hasn't been on TV in decades. I think the last thing he was really in was World of Warcraft commercials where he was a night elf mohawk. But he's getting a fame thing for all the 50-year-olds who remember him in the comic book community. It's going to be written by Darren Davis, art by Ray Mosquita, and the cover will be by Pablo Martinina. To be one retail exclusive, a Nirvana Comics Pablo Martinina variant. It's going to look like the cover to Akira, very iconic. But instead of the characters from Akira, it's going to be a Mr. T heading towards the van from the A-Team TV show. Next up, a segment I almost forgot because I did pretty much all these issues last week. It's Let's Try This Again. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not know what's going on with Udon, the book publisher, comic book publisher. For the second week in a row, most of the #1s that they had previously listed are being resolicited. What this means is basically they were solicited once before. I'll give you the dates for each of them as I give them to you. Last week, they're all resolicited to come out last week. They didn't come out last week, and 4 of the 5 are resolicited for this week. And you might think, well, at least they published the 5th one. No, I peeked ahead. The 5th one will be resolicited for next week's books. So I don't know. It's how hard it is to get these comics out. I don't know if they're involved in like I said before, the Dynamite thing was involved in the Diamond bankruptcy, and they had a whole bunch of stuff that's delayed and stuff because of that. I don't know, but this is the second week in a row that we are waiting not so patiently on these Udon books. The 4 books are Street Fighter Guile #1, which I originally covered for the week of March 26, 2025. So that means if you want to know about the variant covers and how much the price is and everything like that, go to the episode. And you don't have to go. You don't have, like I said before. I'll say again, it's the first episode I did of this series. So you have to go all the way back to the beginning and start there and scrub till you get to Udon. You'll be able to see it and find out what I had to say about that there. And you can just save for all the rest of them for the episodes that I deal with these release dates. So there you go. Mega Man ZX Timelines #1 that I originally covered on September 10th, 2025. Street Fighter Masters Elena #1, which I covered on 10/22/25. And Mega Man Legends Timelines #1, which I covered on 11/5/2025. I'm sure I'm going to cover these again next week. Tune in and see. But next, let's look at something a little more sadder. The final issues of the week. Alright, we're going to start with Marvel. Venom, Black, White, and Blood #4. $5.99 for 10 pieces, 40 pages. 10 pieces, yeah. They hate the book so much they're going to rip it in pieces, equally in 10 pieces and give it to you. What an idiot, Bill. I'm sorry. It's going to have a number of stories. Story #1 will be by Al Ewing. on writing, and art by K. Zama. Story 3 would be by Rich Duell, and art by Robert Gill. And Story 3 will be written and drawn by Chris Bacallo. With 2 other covers, one done by Geraldo Sandoval, and one by Juan Ferreira. Uncle Scrooge, Earth's Mightiest Duck, will come to an end with number 4, which leaves the Fantagraphic Uncle Duck series, which inexplicably came out at the same time, as your only source of Uncle Scrooge on the newsstands. Be strong. $4.99 for 32 pages. This is written by Jason Aaron, art by Giuseppe Camicoli and Dale Eaglesham, and the cover will be by Gabriel Del Otto. There'll be 2 other covers, one by Russell Dodderman and one by Stephanie Hans. Image is bringing to close its latest Universal Monster series, Universal Monsters: The Invisible Man, with issue number 4. $4.99 for 32 pages. Written by James Tynion IV, art by Danny, colors by Brad Simpson, and the cover will be by Danny on art and Brad Simpson's on colors. There'll be one opener cover, a cover B by Ryan Sook, dull UV variant. They're all dull UV variants. I don't know what that means. I guess maybe it's the coating on the cover. It's going to be like a dull cover, but it's UV protected. I don't know. I should look on that for you, but as you can tell, the quality on this thing is job 76. So before, also for incentives. Cover C, a 1 in 10 by David Aja. Pulp variant, and it's going to be dull UV. Cover D will be a 1 in 25 Ryan Sook black and white. It's a black and white variant of his open order cover. Which will be dull UV. Cover E will be a 1 in 50 Anita Citria dull UV variant. And cover F will be a 1 in 75 David Tulaski dull UV cover. Alright, next up, Boom! Has one coming to an end. Killer, Affairs of the State 2 will be coming to an end. $4.99 for 40 pages, written by Matz. Art and cover by Luc Jacquemin. There'll be 2 open order covers, a cover B by Javier Pulido, and a cover D by Luc Jacquemin Virgin cover. The one incentive, there'll be a cover C, a 1 in 10 Javier Pulido Virgin cover. Next up, Oni has issue coming to an end. Cemetery Kids Run Rabid, number 4. $4.99 for 32 pages. Written by Zach Thompson. Art and cover by Daniel Irizarry. And the colors will be by Brittany Peer. There'll be one open order cover, a cover B by Jenna Cha. And she's also going to be doing the incentive cover, 1 in 10, which will be a virgin version of her open order cover. Dark Horse is bringing to close Kevin Smith's latest series, Quick Stops, Volume 3, Number 4. Written by Kevin Smith, art and cover by Ahmed Radfat, and letters by Andrew Thomas. Be one other cover, a cover B by C. Logan. I believe so. I can't read my own writing. That's bad. This is basically kind of like a trip through his previous old school films. Chasing Amy, Mallrats, and Dogman and stuff like this. I've been reading this. It's pretty good. He did a special issue dedicated to Shannon Doherty. It's kind of like Catch the Can reminiscence kind of stuff like this of this. So it's kind of like not always a narrative. It's also kind of like a memoir kind of stuff. It goes over the stuff. One of the issues he did a tribute and memory to Shannon Doherty, which I thought was very touching, very well written, very, very effective and moving. Of course, I'm a fan of Kevin Smith, so I'm predetermined to consider whatever he does to be genius. But I thought that was really good. If this comes out on trade, maybe pick it up if you want to. That'd be good. Keen Spot is back again, bringing to close Robot Plus Girl with issue number 10. $5.99 for 32 pages. Again, excessive amount of money for 32 pages. It should help you catch a taxi cab if you want to, or have its own, weight loss formula in it. If you look at it, you lose 10 pounds immediately. $3.99 is acceptable. $4.99 is unfortunately the new reality. $5.99, you're really pushing it. Written art and cover by Mike White. There'll be 2 other covers because you know what, they want to get that $6 off you 2 more times. Cover B will be by Courtney Costello, and cover C will be by Joel Williamson. Massive Publishing is bringing to end Detective Kaiju number 4. $4.99 for 32 pages. It will be written by Michael Calero, and art and cover by Kit Wallace. There'll be 2 other covers. Cover B by Michael Calero, Noir Homage, and cover C, Local Comic Shop Day Secret Reveal cover. Now, I don't know if that's the cover that came out during Local Comic Shop Day, which happened several weeks in the past, or is it this like a new kind of like version of it, or it is the one from a couple weeks in the past, but they're re-releasing it now. I don't know. So don't be disappointed if you go up there looking for this variant and you can't find it. This subsection also has another subsection of Let's Try This Again, and From an Old Friend. Again! Alright, The Jungle number 2 is solicited again. It was supposed to originally be coming to a close back on the 12th of November. It didn't come out then. It was solicited for last week. Didn't come out then. And it's now, again, up, as far as I could tell, up for the 26th. It's probably not going to come out then either. This is from Uncivilized Books, and judging at the last one that I put on this, which was The Sickness number 6, I believe, that was on here for about 2 months before it actually finally came out. I don't know if it even in fact did come out. I have to double check and see about that. I don't know if I knew I had it on my pull list. I don't know if I ever ended up getting it. Oh, it might have been number 9. Like, whatever. The final issue of Sickness took a long time to come out. So, wrapping this up in almost wow, this is I love short weeks. I love this. This is like a vacation for me. We're gonna wrap this up now with facsimiles. Alright, there's only one company putting out one facsimile. That is Marvel. However, they have like 5 different covers for this facsimile. They are doing a facsimile for Ultimate Spider-Man number 1. I don't know if this is going to be like what they're doing with the Civil War series or the X-Men series or the Fantastic Four series, where they're going to have a whole line of facsimiles that follow the series as it goes along. Like, will number 2 come out next month? Will number 3 come out the month after that? So on and so forth. But it is a historic book from Marvel. It's one of the best stories written by Marvel and by Brian Michael Bendis. So it's, if you haven't got it, it's, this is a cheap way to pick it up without having to pay a couple dollars at the local comic shop for it. But the facsimiles are as follows. It's going to be a regular facsimile, basically looks like the regular book, only with a higher price point than it originally came out with. Then there's going to be a foil variant of it, because there always is. Then there's going to be a 125 Joshua Cassara variant. This is a new cover put on top of the old book. Then there's going to be 2, I believe, retail variants for it, both by Unknown Comics, both done by Ivan Tao. It's going to be, he's going to have a foil version and it's just a regular variant coming out from that. So if you're an Ultimate Spider-Man collector, you're going to have to get all 5 of those books. So that's it. Which one of these are you looking forward to? Which one are you not looking forward to? Which ones do you think should have been Book of the Week? Which things should not have been on here at all? Any questions, comments, concerns? Do you have any things you want to say about any of these books? Leave them in the comments. We'll start. Try to get a discussion going. I try to answer as much as possible. Sometimes I don't have an answer for it, so I just leave it there. So don't be offended if I don't do it. That's not you. It's me. Mea culpa. Mea culpa. I'm sorry. But leave this thing there. And for a sneak preview, if you want to come back again next week, this happens every week. Next Friday will be another one. We have a new installment in the Criminal franchise. That's Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips' wonderful masterwork of crime fiction, and also a new Doctor Strange series coming up. So that one of those 2, I can guarantee you, are going to be the big book of the week. That's assuming I have to double check and be sure if the Giant Size Criminal is all new material. Then that's definitely getting it. If it's not, then I might go with Doctor Strange and Vamp. But if those are interesting, you check back next week. And until then, keep on collecting.